Welcome to the step 3 on how to apply for Canada permanent residency under the provincial nominee program. In this step, we're going to be looking at how to fill the application forms. And this is going to be for both the online and the paper format. Refer to the step 1 and step 2 in the description area to know if you're eligible to apply for a Canada permanent residency under the PNP route, and also the documents needed. So the first form I'm going to be showing you guys how to complete is the generic application form for Canada. This one right here. If you are applying online, then I would advise that you do not complete this form because you are going to be able to complete this particular generic application form for Canada online. And you can find that description, you can find the way to apply online in the description area below. But at the same time, you are still going to need the rest of the application forms here, like the background and declaration form, the supplemental information and travel forms, economic classes form, and the additional family information form. So still stick around and see how you can apply or how you can complete these forms, because you're going to upload these forms even if you are applying online. So all you need to do is skip forward in this video to the background and declaration form and start and see how to fill out those forms if you are applying online. But if you're applying on paper, then let's dive in. So here you're going to choose, number 1, the program that you're applying under. So it's going to be economic, and then the category that you're applying under is going to be provincial nominee. I'm going to be fast in this video so that I can make it short. It's a lot of documents. Here you choose how many family members, number 3, that are coming with you. If it's you, 1. If you have a family of 3 or 4, a wife and kids, then you choose 3 or 4 or more. You choose your language preference and where you intend to live in Canada, the city, and number 6 is for people under Quebec work program, I believe so. Then we go to your personal details. You're going to provide your name as shown on your passport, full name, last name, and other names. And then if you've used any other name, you're going to indicate it here. Here, you're going to get as in put your UCI number. So because this is a PNP program, postgraduate provincial nominee program, you're going to find your UCI number in your postgraduate work permit that you got after you were done studying, or if you got your nomination another way, still under the PNP, then check what you have. It could be a work permit or any document you have. It's going to be an 8-digit number. That is your UCI. Number 4, you choose your sex, male, female, whatever works for you, your height, eye color, your date of birth, where you were born, your country of citizenship, and then current country of residence. Here you're going to choose Canada because that is your current country of residence. And here you're going to choose your status. So that's what I said earlier on. If you are applying as a student, or your status when you came was as a student, then you're going to choose that. If it's a visitor, worker, you're going to choose those options, right? Then it's going to be like the time you came into Canada, or the time you got into Canada, when your status as started in Canada till the date. So this is 14th, I believe today is the 15th as I'm making this video. So it could be like till date 15th, depending on when you're watching this video. The date and place of your last entry into Canada and where it was. Then if you've lived previous countries of residence. If you've lived in any other country other than your country of residence, then for more than 6 months, this is important, then you have to indicate that. If you choose yes, then you provide that information here, because you're going to add that information in the additional supplementary information here for your travel. You're going to be able to add that information down below. Let's keep going. Then once you provide that, if you haven't lived in any other country during the past 5 years, you've lived in your country. If you haven't, then it's going to be a no. Then here, your current marital status, single, married, whatever works for you. If you're in a common law relationship, you're going to provide the date and the information here. And that's why it says, have you previously been married or in a common law relationship? Then this is going to be your contact information. So put your address under here. Then if your residential address is different from your contact as an information, then you're going to choose no and provide the information below. After that, you provide your phone number and your email in case they want to reach you via email. Then your passport. You're going to put your passport number where it was issued. If it was issued in your home country, then it's going to be your country as long as it's still valid. But if you've renewed it in Canada, then your country of issue is going to be Canada. And then you're going to put the issue date and the expiring date. If you have a national identity card, you are going to put that. If you say yes, you put the number below. If not, leave it as no. Then under this part, educational or occupational details, you're going to provide your highest level of education and the number of years of education in total. This is also super important because you're going to need this at some point. I will show you guys where you're going to provide this information. I think it's in one of the forms. Yeah, I think it's in the background and declaration that you're going to provide. So be sure of the numbers they're going to fill out in here, and your intended occupation could be, it's just asking you the highest level of education that you hope to attain at some point. Then language details, your mother tongue, if it's English or French or whatever, you choose that, and then you choose how you're able to communicate. Have you taken a test from a designated testing agency? Then if you watch the step 2 on the requirements needed in the description area, I have the link there. If you are under a NOC code C and D, then you're going to be needing a test to show proficiency. If not, then you leave it as no. If it is that, you're going to put yes, because you're going to get that document and submit with your application. So for dependents, just like the same way you kind of as in added like your information, personal details here. Personal details, this is your own personal information. That is the same thing you're going to do with your dependents. So here you're going to add your dependents, all your dependents. You're going to add your kids and everything. But if you are applying by yourself, just like I did, and you don't have any dependent, then you can just remove this. Once you click on that, it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to remove it? Then you say yes. But if you want to add dependents, you just click on this button, add dependents, and it comes in, right? So that's how to work on that. And like I said, you fill out the information needed. So let's just presume that you don't have any dependents and we've removed that. But if you have a family, please fill out that and then keep moving. So then all you now have to do is what? Fill out this other information. Are you concerting, as in for them to release your information, then you're going to put no or yes, your name, and every other thing. Once you do that, you put the date that you completed this application. And then, like I said, for paper format, you are going to print out and then you sign this. But before you do that, you validate and do what? Print out and sign, right? Once you've completed this for paper format, if you're someone who want to apply online, I said to skip this part and go straight to the next form, which is the background and declaration form. Same process, indicate whether you are the primary applicant. You do that and you put your full name. Then for other people applying in different, if you can write your full name written in a native language, then it is specified for people Arabic, Chinese, Korean, Japanese. Then you put your date of birth, then personal details of your father. Then if your father is late, then you are going to put the time, the date of birth, as in the date your dad or your mom passed away here and here. But if they're still alive, you are going to leave this as it is. And then you just fill out their name, their date of birth, where they were born, and their country of birth. And then for that, for your dad, and you do the same for your mom. Then this is basically asking you so many questions. If you've received pardon and this and that, if it's a yes for you, you choose that, and then we keep going. So remember when I said the highest form of education you've gotten and how many years in total? So this is where that comes in, education. So elementary, secondary, university. So like I said, this is something I used to get my permanent residency. So this is like the format I use. All I did was change up the years and the name of institutions, but this is exactly the format I used to secure my permanent residency. So here, you're going to start with the lowest, primary for how long, secondary for how long, university for how long, and then you fill out all this information with the name of institution, city and country, and field of study. Once you've done that, then personal history. This is super important. When I submitted my application, it was returned to me because I left gaps. It says, please ensure that you do not leave any gaps in time. It was returned, and this, if you make any mistake here, it can delay the processing of your application. So it says, provide the details of your application, personal history since the age of 18 or the past 10 years, whichever is most recent. So if you start with this one, so what I did initially, I have, if you check the pattern I have right here, 2011 to 2021, so that is within 10 years, right? So 2021 to 2021 February 02 to 2013, I said I was employed, and then city, what I was doing as I was a citizen in my country then, and the company I was working for, I just made up these numbers. But this is the point I was making. It says, do not leave any gap. 2013-08, the next one should be 2013-09. If you put 2013-10 here for an example, then that means there is a gap, 1 month. So what happened to that 1 month? That's why they said, please ensure that you do not leave any gaps in time. So what happened within those time frame of, I think, September, right? What happened? So it should be, make sure that you don't leave any gaps. It's going to be 09. So if you see the same pattern, 2013-09 to 2014-05, the next one was 06. Then to 2018-01. The next one was 02 to 2020-08. Then the next one was 09. There was no gaps. This was why my application was returned the first time. And once I completed this, then it was fixed. Then the next option would be, you can use this to help with your personal history, this guide. The next one is membership and association. If you don't have any, you leave it. So I just put an example of what I used for mine. You can use this pattern as well. And these ones, I left them open because it didn't apply to me. Government positions, military and or paramilitary services, I left all of these ones. And then addresses, it says, list all addresses where you've lived since your 18th birthday or the past 10 years, whichever is most recent. Do not use PO Box addresses. Again, the same pattern. 2011, as you can see from here, I used the same pattern, although it did not specify do not leave any space, but it helped me to carve the numbers out to the right one. So if you're watching this video, you can pause when you get to this point and watch the format that I used, and it's going to help you structure yours very, very well. And the next thing you're going to do is what? You sign the date that you completed this application, and you sign this signature. If you are applying online, you are not going to sign this because you're not going to print it out and sign, because you're going to upload it. But I think it's also wise to sign it. You can upload, you can print it out, upload, you can print it out, sign, and then upload it back into the online platform, right? So once you do that, this is the way to complete the background and declaration form, and this is for both paper and the online format. Then these other ones are going to be easy. So this is going to be your supplemental information for your travel. Here you're going to provide your name, last name, and your given names. And for this one, when I filled out my application form, I did specify the time that I went to an African country, but I just used one. If you've not traveled, all you have to do is you put the time that you came to Canada till date. I said 3 years till date, your destination and your purpose of travel, which is to study. But if you've been to any other country, same format, put those dates till when you came back, how long you stayed there, and then the city and the country where you traveled to. And if you went there for work or for visit, then you specify that here. And you're going to do that too for your spouse or common law partner if you traveled with them, and your dependent kids 18 years old or older. Again, you can use the format of the first one that I provided to fill out if you do not have any common law partner or dependent kids, then just for yourself. But if you do have spouse, use the format for that and to fill out the rest of them. And once you do that, that is that. Then you're going to upload this, you're going to save this information, and you're going to upload it for the online form if you're applying online, and for the paper format, you're just going to print it out. Then the next form is going to be the economic classes, provincial nominees. Same process, you put your name, your given names, and then your date of birth, and then you're going to provide the province that nominated you and the category that you chose. And then it says amount of funds available that you have in Canadian dollars. When I applied, I put in 5,000 here. I just chose $5, 10,000 right now because I got my permanent residency like how many years ago, so things might have changed that time. So it would be wise to like go with a good number so it wouldn't be an issue. Then same process, you're gonna sign, and then once you sign, then the next thing you're gonna do is you print out, if you're applying on paper for online, you sign and then you are also going to upload and save it as a PDF because you're going to upload it back on, right? You're going to upload it back on. The one thing I've noticed with because I didn't apply online, one thing I've noticed for it is if you do not, because it's going to be online, I don't think it's going to be necessary to sign it. If it's not necessary to sign it, then date it and upload it. But if they now request that you sign it, then you can follow that process, right? Then the final document is the additional family information. So same process, I'm not going to read out everything here. So here you're going to provide your name, you're the applicant, your date of birth, your present address, your country or territory where you were born. Then if you have then your marital status. If you now have a partner, same process. Then here you provide the same information for your mother, your dad. You can use an example on what I have here to get, as in to create something for yourself. This is exactly how I created mine. And then do the same thing for your kids if you do have, but because it was just me, I just provided for myself, my mom and my dad, and then for my family members. So brothers and sisters, you provide the same information here. Sisters and your brother, whoever, if you have a brother, you just put brother and add their name and everything. And this is, once you finish that, you also print out for a paper application. And then if you're applying for online, same process, you are going to upload this information. So this is basically how to complete the application form for a Canada permanent residency under the provincial nominee program. So for other people, let's say you are married with kids and there are additional forms that you're going to be needing. This is where you're going to check out the step 2 on the requirements needed, and then you're going to see these ones that you've completed. You check them off, check each and every one of them off, right? Just to make sure that you got the ones that you needed. But if you're going to be needing extra information like children's information, then this is where it comes handy. And then you check the step 1 of the video I made for the extra documents that you're going to be providing as well. This is how to complete the Canada permanent residency application forms for the provincial nominee program.